Davy VTV, Davy V with you. We are in beautiful Mount Hope Cemetery in Rochester, New York, and I'm continuing to expose how the city of Rochester, New York, who owns this cemetery, right, owns Mount Hope Cemetery, is continuing to neglect and abandon these graves and has been doing so for decades. And here's a perfect example. You have this grave here that is toppled over, and ask yourself, the city of Rochester, New York, with all the millions of dollars that it takes and squeezes out of taxpayers every year, right? How hard could it possibly be if they wanted to, if they really cared, if they really wanted to, which they don't, and they don't care, but how hard could it be to level out this base so that it's even on the ground, right? And level on the ground and reset this headstone. This is a disrespect. You cannot even read this person's headstone because it's face down. In other words, the writing is under there. So you can't even see it. And it's embedded into that ground, which shows that it's been like this for decades. And this is exactly why I do what I do and why I will continue to do what I'm doing, which is expose the city of Rochester, New York, one of the most corrupt cities in the country, and how they simply do not care and are neglecting and abandoning these graves and have been doing so for decades. Here's another example. And like I always say in my videos, no disrespect intended for walking over these folks' graves, but it's almost unavoidable to do so, right? But again, no disrespect. Look at this. Look at this. This is a shame. How hard could it be to reset that base, right? Fix that and put that gravestone, which is upside down, I believe. Yep, it's upside down. There are the bolts. And fix that and give this person the respect that they deserve. Look at this one. What is this? This is very disturbing, and again, it's a great disrespect on the part of the city of Rochester, New York. And exactly why I do these videos. Look at this. Literally in pieces. Literally in pieces. And we could go on and on, and I will. I mean, there's just countless, hundreds and thousands of graves like this. Even this right here. A relatively easy fix if the city of Rochester, New York cared to straighten that gravestone out. And this is just one little section. Notice how I'm doing them one after the other. Look at this. Another example. This is a disrespect. These are folks who passed away in the late 1800s. Why does it have to be like this? Why can't the city of Rochester, New York address this? Again, level out that base so it's even with the ground, level with the ground, right? And reset that headstone. But they don't care. That's why. The city of Rochester, New York does not care. Here's another example. This is absolutely 1914. 1914, I believe there's two folks here, maybe husband and wife. Yep, Anna and Heinrich Wall. I apologize if I can't make out the writing there. 1914, 1907 for Anna, 1914 for Heinrich. And look at this. This is a disrespect. This does not have to be like that. If the city of Rochester, New York wanted to, and if they really cared, they could easily fix this. Again, level out the base, reset that headstone. But they don't care. Here's another one. Embedded for years. Look at that base. That base has sunk in there for years. These folks, probably husband, mother and father, husband and wife, Jacob M. and Bertha Fuchs. And that base is literally embedded into that ground. You could see it. What's my point? My point is that has been like that for decades. Again, abandoned and neglected for decades by the city of Rochester, New York. Here's another one. And again, this is just one small section. This cemetery is huge. Look at this. There's no reason why that should be like that. Again, level out that base so it's level with the ground and give this person right here, Catherine Blake, wife of Waterman Coleman, who has been buried here since 1911, give this woman the respect that she deserves at her final resting place of fixing that grave. Absolutely disgusting and very disturbing. Here's another one. Completely unrecognizable. Like, what is this? It's a disrespect. That's what it is. Look at this. Pieces. Literally pieces. To mark someone's final resting place. Absolutely disgusting. And here's another one. Look at this. Completely, basically, totally embedded into that ground. Look at that. Let's zoom in on that. Again, that has been like that for decades and decades and decades. Absolutely disgusting and very disrespectful to these folks. Here's more. Look at this. We really don't even know where this grave belongs, and that's sad. That is sad right there. Unreal. Hold on. There's more. I'm not done. Look at this. Another one. Completely embedded into that ground. Look at this. Look at this. Husband and wife. 1940 and 1960. I can't see there because there's some stuff on the engraving. But look at this. It's just a disrespect. Look at this. Two more. Completely, basically embedded into that ground. Here's another one. And again, keep in mind, this is just a fraction, a small section of the cemetery. Look at this. How hard can it be to level that base out so it's even with the ground, level with the ground, and reset that headstone? It's not hard at all. But the city of Rochester, New York does not care. Look at this. Look at this. They simply don't care. Look at this. One after the other, literally. One after another, completely embedded into that ground. Another one. Look at this. Even with the ground, embedded into that ground. They don't care. Again, the city of Rochester, New York, for those of you that don't know, is one of the most corrupt cities in the country. Look at this. Another one. Look at this. Look at this. This one is literally basically almost swallowed by the ground. That's how long it's been here. Look at that. Let's zoom in. Absolutely disgusting. Look at this. And we'll wrap it up with this one. But we will continue to expose this. Look at this. Maria, 1875. There's no reason why that should be like that. How hard can it be to straighten this base out and then reset that gravestone, that headstone, back onto that base? Again, we are in beautiful Mount Hope Cemetery, which unfortunately, it is a beautiful cemetery, but unfortunately has been and continues to be neglected and abandoned by the city of Rochester, New York. As always, thank you for watching Davy V TV.